Hello guys, welcome to biology class once again. In this video we'll be talking about the characteristics of living things, those properties that living things possess and that non-living things does not possess. And under each of them we discuss majorly about the meaning of each of them, and then we talk about the purpose of each of them. Let's go straight to the first one, which is movement. What is movement? Movement is the ability of an organism to move its own whole body or part of its body from one place to the other, and this can be seen in both plants and animal. In animal, there is an unrestricted movement, while in plants they maintain a restricted movement. Plants only move by bending, while animal move from one place to the other. And the purpose of movement is for them, number one, to search for food, search for mating partner, and then to escape from danger, and so on. All these are what's the reason why living things, especially animals, move. The second one is respiration. When you talk about respiration, that simply means the breakdown of food with the aid of oxygen in order to release energy. And the major purpose of respiration is for energy to be released for the organism to be able to perform its daily activity. Respiration is of two types. It's either in the presence of oxygen, which is aerobic respiration, or in the absence of oxygen, which is anaerobic respiration. In the two cases, energy is released. Next thing is nutrition. Nutrition is a process involved in the obtaining food by an organism, and then the food that is obtained is eventually used to provide chemical energy for work and other life processes. There are two major types of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Why autotrophic nutrition is found in plants, heterotrophic nutrition is attributed to animals because animals can not manufacture their food. They depend directly or indirectly on plants, while plants can manufacture their own food. Okay, the next one is irritability, or what you can call sensitivity, and that is the reaction of organism to changes in the environment. Living things respond to stimulus like light, like heat, like sound, like pain. Okay, those are the stimulus that living things respond to. The purpose of their response is for them to be able to survive in the environment. For example, some organisms will respond by moving away from from a high intense light, or some organisms respond by moving away from dangerous chemicals, and so on and so forth, for them to be able to survive. And then let's talk about growth. Growth is an irreversible increase in size and complexity of an organism due to the addition of living protoplasmic material. By the time an organism is born, and then cells begin to multiply, then the organism begin to grow. So the purpose of growth is to enable organisms to repair or replace damaged or old tissues in the body. So as some tissues die off or are damaged, then they are being replaced and growth occur. And growth, of course, as I said, is an irreversible increase in size of an organism, and it's also a irreversible increase in complexity of an organism. Then let's talk about excretion. Excretion means removal of metabolic waste products from the body. That word metabolic is very important. Excretion is not just removal of undigested food, that is ingestion. Excretion means removal of metabolic waste products from the body, and the purpose of excretion is to remove the metabolic waste products which are poisonous to the body. Such metabolic Waste products include carbon dioxide, urea, sweat, bile. All these need to be removed so that they will not damage or have any poisonous effects on the body. Okay, how about reproduction? Reproduction is the ability of an organism to give birth to young ones of its kind. Okay, giving birth to young one of its kind can happen in two different ways. That's talking about the two types of reproduction. We have asexual reproduction involving only one organism reproducing its kind, and then you have sexual reproduction which involve two organisms coming together to give birth to their kind, to reproduce their kind. And the purpose of reproduction is to ensure continuity of life. I'm here today because of reproduction, and you guys are able to listen to me because of reproduction. The next thing is adaptation. Okay, this is also very, very important. And without adaptation, an organism will not be able to survive in its environment. Adaptation is the ability of an organism to adapt to changes in its environment in such a manner that it will be comfortable, and the purpose of adaptation is for the organism to survive. Normally, there is changes in the environment, and as these changes occur, organisms also should adapt so that they can be able to survive. As you can see in this picture here, you can see a chameleon that can adapt to any environment by changing its color so that it will be able to survive. And then lastly, we're talking about competition, and this is the ability of living organisms to struggle for all the necessities of life. They compete for food, they compete for space, they compete for water, they compete for light, and so on and so forth. And the purpose of competition is to survive. If an organism does not compete, such an organism can risk the danger of being wiped out of the population or of the community. Therefore, an organism must compete, and then the fittest will be the one to survive, as you can also see it being illustrated in the picture that you can see here. In all these characteristics of living things that we have talked about so far, one thing is clear, and it is that each of them, we talk about the meaning and then we talk about the purpose. That's very important when you are looking at the characteristics of living things. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I want to encourage you to come back next time, like this video, and then share it among yourself, and then also comment and subscribe for more educational video. Thank you very much. See you next time.